Welcome to Seasons. I'm Marisol Castro.
I'm Chef Plum, and I'm joining you on Zoom, and Marisol, of course, is in the studio in New Haven.
I am.
You're there, and I'm sitting here, and I'm sorry I can't see you. I wish I could, but it's officially summer, and that means it's time to hit the ice cream trail in Connecticut, Marisol. I love ice cream. Are you an ice cream fan?
I love ice cream. What is not to love about ice cream? We are going to get into some of our personal favorites in a minute, but first, our guest for the hour is the co-owner and ice cream maker at one of the state's most beloved shops. It's always on our top 10 lists, Grassroots Ice Cream in Granby, right on the town green.
Eliza Florian, welcome to Seasoned, and thank you for joining us. We're so happy to talk to you.
Hello, and thank you for having me.
I was just saying that people are gonna. This is our favorite time of the month. It's the last Thursday of the month, and people get to call and shout out their favorite ice cream. So we want to hear from you this hour. Tell us about your favorite shop, your favorite flavor. Does your family have an ice cream tradition? Maybe you go to Ashley's after a day at the beach, or you go to, I don't know, Saugatuck Sweets after your kid plays a really good saxophone gig. Mm-hmm. Call us at 203-776-9677 to join the conversation. The number is 203-776-9677. So I'm ready for ice cream.
I am too. I like ice cream in a milkshake. I like ice cream for dessert. I like ice cream in a bowl. I even like olive oil on ice cream sometimes. Is that a little bit crazy, Marisol? I know it seems a bit chefy, but it's kind of a thing I do.
No, it's not chefy at all. I think it's delicious. But Eliza, thank you for spending time with us this afternoon. I would like to start at the beginning. How is ice cream made exactly?
Well, when I was opening my ice cream shop, I honestly had no idea how ice cream was made. And so I had a huge learning curve. I had already signed my lease. I was ready to go. And I just thought I could do this. When Ben and Jerry started out, they spent thousands of dollars and went to the University of Pennsylvania. They took like an ice cream making course, learned the science of ice cream. But I didn't have any time to take an ice cream course, and $2,000 plus in travel and accommodations was more than I thought I could afford. So I bought a textbook on dairy science. It taught me basically the basics of how I could get started, and taught me a lot about why ice cream is creamy or icy, and how to make a New England style ice cream, what to do with fat, water, protein, and how it all has to come together to get a really creamy product. So I honestly jumped in, and I kind of taught myself. I had a lot of failures. With any adventure, you have to. And I had to see how far I could push my recipes to add, I didn't follow like just the basic formulas of buying canned flavorings, and which a lot of ice cream shops do. I really challenged to use fresh fruits, and I only wanted to use natural flavors and natural colors. So I had to source a lot of things that were not readily available when we opened. And so it was really an adventure. And we did feed the pigs at Mapleview Farm quite a lot of ice cream. So it never went in the garbage, but I did fail a few times.
At least the pigs never complained at all about anything, do they?
No. I don't know if they loved the mint, though. I had a hard time getting the mint level. And mint just was a tough one. So they ate a lot of mint.
Hey, Marisol, I might actually agree with the pigs there. I don't know if I like mint on my ice cream.
Yeah, I don't know if I do either. It's so interesting to hear you say, Eliza, that you got a textbook, but I suspect that it courses through your veins, this ice cream making, because sure, you could read a textbook, but you clearly have a passion for what you're doing. My understanding is that the ice cream, mint or not mint, is all about the base. What makes a really good base for ice cream?
Well, every region in the United States has a base that they prefer. And I happen to live in Connecticut, which is high fat. They want this really warm mouthfeel. They don't want that icy, cold ice cream. They want it to be buttery and full of, good old New England cream. And, our summer foods are really interesting compared to other regions of the country. What do we love? Thick New England cream chowder. We love buttered lobster rolls, and we love full fat ice cream, like 16, 18, sometimes 20% some of the shops make. Wow. I generally stick to a 16, but it still has that very warm feel in your mouth. In like Florida, they love the icy ice cream, which, and in California, it gets more fluffy and more cold in your mouth. So when you're talking about ice cream, you always have to say regionally what the mouthfeel is people like. But here, if you don't have the full fat ice cream, you're just not in business. So,
I never would have thought about that. But it makes complete sense.
yeah.
I say it all the time. Food is more science than art. I think plating food can be artistic, but the actual making of the food is definitely more based in science.
Yeah. And I've always loved science. So I knew I could I don't know. I knew I could pick this up. And I've always loved to cook, just a savory cook.
Mm-hmm.
So it really has melted into my ice cream recipes, savory things. I do make an olive oil ice cream, make a rosemary olive oil ice cream. And I think the savory things are really interesting in desserts.
It's interesting you talk about savory because one of the things about Grassroots, we will say this until we are blue in the face here with Grassroots ice cream, is that you have these creative flavors. A few of them, strawberry balsamic vinegar, cardamom cashew, roasted garlic, goat cheese blackberry. Where are you coming up with these ideas, first of all, and then how do you execute them to make them so delicious?
Well, first of all, I want the listeners not to be completely terrified to come to my shop because we do serve 36 flavors. 10 to 12 of them are always going to be your staples, your classics, cookie dough, Oreo, vanilla, chocolate. You're going to be safe if you come to my shop. But the rest of the board is mine and it's wild. And all those flavors you listed, you could never walk into my shop and see them on the board. I'm not a ice cream shop that has a static menu. Mm-hmm. We have a very dynamic menu. It changes constantly, except for the classics, because we have to keep people from screaming and running out of the shop saying they can't eat here. But I like to have a very dynamic, changing menu. Mm-hmm. So any of those flavors you listed, you might not see in our shop when you come, but you will see something interesting. But the inspirations, to get back to your question, the inspirations you said, I honestly like to kind of look to or honor the cultures of the world and look to them for inspiration, because even areas, that might not actually be traditionally ice cream making cultures, mm-hmm. like the Middle East, generally for ice cream, they love pistachio, but in their sweets, the favorite flavor is rose. Mm. So in their like lemonades and drinks and treats, they love that. And Norway, not a hugely ice cream centric place, but they love cardamom in a sweet bread that they make. I have a friend from Ghana, and she said there's not a lot of ice cream there, but they love, in their sweet that they love is a dark chocolate with fresh lime. And so I never thought of that as a combination.
What?
Yeah. So
I took,
this is what she told me. This is right from her mouth. So I made a lime base, a real citrusy lime base, and put dark chocolate in it. And it's been sort of a beloved flavor ever since, but it was inspired from that conversation. So
that sounds amazing. I've never had chocolate and lime. I never would have thought they would go together. And,
exactly.
I mean, it sounds like a great thing to try. I need to come try this for sure. And hey, we want to hear about your favorite ice cream spots, maybe in your town, or some favorite flavors that you've got. Give us a call. Our number is 203-776-9677. That's 203-776-9677. Chocolate and lime. Marisol, would you taste that? Would you be down with that?
I would taste anything that Eliza put in front of me. I will be your quality control every day of the week.
It really does go well together. I believed her instantly, of course.
I believe it.
Sometimes I try to recreate bakery items. Like I love to think of like blueberry pie or pancakes and maple syrup. So we make one that, yes, it has pancake pieces in it, and sweet potato pie, pineapple upside down cake, carrot cake.
This is awesome. This is so fun. I love this. This is like a chef's dream. You can come and just make any kind of flavor ice cream you want to make. Whatever you can think of. Let's just make it. Let's make a truffle and flank steak flavored ice cream.
Oh my gosh. Well, I did have a chef, because I when I was a little slower, I used to take personal challenges from chefs, and one of them, Way Station they ran a grilled cheese truck, and they challenged me to make a candied prosciutto and brown butter ice cream.
Ooh,
oh my God.
And so I made that custom for their truck for a while.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome.
Hey guys, I just want to, our board is lighting up because people have things to say about
I
ice
can't
cream.
wait.
So we have a caller from Brookfield. Stand by. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling Seasons. Tell us about your ice cream experience.
Sure. Our favorite local ice cream is Dr. Mike's in Bethel,
Yeah.
and it has a great history. I think it's only on its third owner right now. But then the flavors that she's mentioning sound like my favorite gelato place in California. They make these most wondrous combinations that you would never think of, like black bean and things. And oh my God, they're so good.
But black beans and desserts makes total sense. There's a lot of desserts that I make with black beans. And she's right. Dr. Mike's, I'll tell you what, my wife and her family in Brookfield swear by Dr. Mike's ice cream before we moved to Newtown. And I'll tell you what, it's good stuff.
I believe it. By the way, that was Lisa from Brookfield. Thank you for calling us, Lisa. I like this. I dig the idea of unusual flavor pairings. And I like to be pleasantly surprised, actually.
Yeah, I try to think out of the box. I remember when I was a kid in the 80s, I don't know how old you guys are, but lemon poppy seed muffins came out.
Heck
so
yeah.
I had to make that in an ice cream. And I've never seen poppy seeds in an ice cream before. I made that about 5-6 years ago. Now poppy seeds are popping up in ice cream, little shops everywhere.
I love
but
it.
Apricot is another. I don't know if I've ever seen another shop copy my apricot.
I don't.
A classic is molasses for sure.
We have another caller. Let's see who this is and what she has
Ice
to
cream
say.
hits a chord, that's for sure.
Hi, thanks for calling Seasons. Tell us about your ice cream situation.
Hi. Actually, I just came back from having some ice cream from Tall Man's Ice Cream on Main Street in Cromwell.
Oh my goodness, are you Elizabeth?
Yes, I am.
Oh well, Elizabeth, what was so delicious about your ice cream?
It was very creamy. It was coffee toffee, and it was just very creamy with little bits of toffee in there, and it was delicious.
And tell us again where you went if you want to shout them out.
Tall Man's Ice Cream in Cromwell.
Tallman's.
Never been there.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. Next time, send some to the studio. We're very
Yeah.
hungry over here. Take care,
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
thanks. Bye.
Coffee, toffee, that sounds amazing. Are you kidding me? I'm getting so jealous right now. All these amazing flavors that I'm hearing about, and I've never tasted any of them myself. This is nonsense. I need to taste these flavors.
I know. We have to take a quick break, but as you can tell, we are talking all things ice cream right now. So give us a call, 203-776-9677. The number again, 203-776-9677. You can hear in the distance the sound of the ice cream truck. If only it were coming to our studio, Plum. Our guest this hour is Eliza Florian of Grassroots Ice Cream in Granby. Call us up.
Coffee, toffee.
If you are joining us, it is our favorite time of the month, the last Thursday of every month. Seasoned is live in our New Haven studio. Call us up because today we are talking about ice cream. The number is 203-776-9677. That's 203-776-9677. I'm holding it down in the studio. Plum is joining us on Zoom. You still there, Plum?
Oh, I'm still here. I'm just keep thinking about that coffee toffee ice cream. Are you kidding me? That just sounds phenomenal.
It does.
Sounds way better than mint.
Our guest for the hour is none other than Eliza Florian of Grassroots Ice Cream in Granby. Eliza, are you ready for some more calls?
Yeah,
Excellent.
let's do it.
We're going to take Jose from Hartford, who wants to talk about Puerto Rico in ice cream.
Oh.
Good afternoon, Jose. How are you?
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. I'm doing well. Thank you very much. What a great show you guys have today.
Thank you. So I
Thank you.
understand you want to talk about ice cream from the motherland. Of course, I'm talking about Puerto Rico as a fellow Boricua.
Yes, this is quite interesting because last year I went home to see my father who was sick, and when he got out from the hospital, we went to a little store at the hospital, and they have malanga ice cream.
Ooh.
Okay.
And this is quite interesting because, as you know, malanga is a root.
Yep.
So I said, oh, my God, this is going to be nasty. But it was absolutely delicious.
Interesting. So Jose, for folks that
Yes.
don't know, malanga is a root. So it would be the equivalent of almost like if you took all the stuff that you need to make like a kombucha. That's like the the malanga is like sort of like that. So I could understand, Jose, if you were like,
Correct.
I can't
Correct.
imagine that this is going to be delicious, but you liked it.
Yes, it was absolutely delicious. I mean, there's other parts in Puerto Rico in the center in Lares.
Mm-hmm.
They do a lot of ice cream, but very awkward ice cream, like rice and beans and ham, or these kind of savory ice creams.
Interesting.
I never had the chance to taste it, and there's another place in Ponce right across from Firehouse. They call it Chinese ice cream, Los Helados Chinos. And, the place is absolutely busy all the time. They have from peanut, guayaba, passion fruit, and the most popular is coconut. But all of them is absolutely delicious.
All right, Jose, we're going to have to maybe have you be our tour guide and take a field trip back
Sure,
to the Netherlands.
Sure, it would be my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I look forward to that. That's for sure.
Thank
I
you
think
so much,
Malanga
Jose.
is like that kind of rum raisin thing. Am I on the right track with that?
I don't think so, but I like rum raisin ice cream.
That's true.
Eliza, what do you think about using some sort of root for your next flavor?
Yeah, I mean, I've tried unsuccessfully to use yucca and yam, but I would love to experiment more. I've never heard of some of those flavors of that, so I have to research what he was saying. That's really interesting to me.
We'll take a field trip. We're also going to take another call. Ben from Wallingford, you want to shout out vegan ice cream. Thanks for calling Seasoned.
Thanks for taking my call. I just want to mention a couple places. In Hamden, there's a place called Sweet Claude's where you can get regular ice cream, but also they have a hard tofuti ice cream that's really good. And in Manchester, there you can get vegan soft serve at Divine Treasures, and I really enjoy both of them.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for calling, and thanks for listening, and thanks for shouting out the vegan ice cream options. We appreciate it.
Eliza, I wanted to ask you if you could just, clarify a little bit and the difference of making like an ice cream versus a soft serve. Is there like a very distinct difference in the two?
Well, it's butterfat content in those soft serve machines. They are churning all the time. So the butterfat can be only a maximum of 10%. So a really rich soft serve ice cream, say Durham Dairy Bar, which is our childhood favorite, is a 10% mix. And they, if the soft serve is really kind of icy and cold in your mouth, then it's going to be down to about a 5.
Wow. Interesting.
Okay. We have a copy of a fact check. Sweet Claude's is in Cheshire. We're told this by our producer. And she says that because she may or may not be from Cheshire, and she may or may not go to Sweet Claude's. So I just wanted to set the record straight. We have another caller. Scott from Meriden. Thanks for calling Seasoned.
Hi, how are you guys?
Great. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to mention I'm now lactose intolerant in this part of my life, so I don't get to enjoy a lot of this stuff anymore, but I did growing up at Wentworth and Hamden. But nowadays, in Cheshire at Old Bishop Farms, which is a historic farm that my cousin has revived. He now makes his own ice cream daily, creamy, delicious, that I can only get a little bite of, but it's wonderful, and I highly recommend going out to the farm where they use their own ingredients all the time.
Scott, do you have a favorite flavor?
I'm a diehard mint chocolate chip, but I really want to try that chocolate lime flavor now.
People that love mint, they're very loyal to it.
I know. The mint thing just won't get out of my life,
No,
will
they
it?
have to have it. It's a love-hate relationship.
I
You love it or you hate it.
It's like toothpaste flavor ice cream.
No, the people that love mint, if it's not on my board, they're upset.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Manisol, I got to shout out one of my favorite places for ice cream across the entire world, and that's Ferris Acres Ice Cream in Newtown. If you haven't been to Ferris Acres, it's definitely worth the trip.
I love it. I know. I keep threatening to go there, and I will make it there. We have a caller that will probably segue into our next topic. This is Gail from New York. You're on the air with Seasoned. How are you?
Hi, is that me? Am I on the air?
You are on the air, Gail.
It's your turn.
Okay, hi. I was wondering about the ingredients in terms of the base, because I've been there and I wanted to bring a bunch home, and I looked at the ingredients, and I remember seeing carrageenan and xanthan gums, which are things I would not give my kids. So I'm wondering, are you still using those base ingredients?
We found a source this year. It's from a source we got from Maine, and we have completely all natural emulsifiers. Carrageenan is from seaweed, but it's no longer in our ice cream base. We love the new products we're making this year. We're also really pushing hard to make new experiments. They mentioned vegan ice creams, and we're going to have a ton of experimental vegan ice creams coming up in the next week or two.
And you know what's interesting about these things she's talking about? You see these things like xanthan gum and carrageenan, and you're like, what on earth is that? Carrageenan comes from a seaweed. It's natural. There's nothing scary or weird about it. And xanthan gum, which is a lot of times used for, it's a polysaccharide, so it's used for like emulsifying and helping holding things together. It's actually made from a bacteria, right? So it's a fermentation of a bacteria called xanthomonia. I'm not sure I'm totally saying that right, Marisol, but I have a microphone, so we'll just say I'm saying it right. Xanthomonias or something like that. And it's all naturally occurring. So you see these big words when you see, on packaging or ingredients, but they're all natural. It's nothing weird about it. Carrageenan, like I said, is from a seaweed, and xanthan gum comes from a fermentation of a bacteria. So there's nothing weird about it. There's no chemicals.
Right. And guar gum comes from a bean. It's like a bean, I think, from South America. And all of those are very important to ice cream making because they are the emulsifier. The thing that's in like a French base, which is egg yolk, but the thing that works to keep the ice cream together is the lecithin. And some people will see the word lecithin and they think, oh, that's a terrible thing. But lecithin is the actual emulsifier that's working in the egg yolk.
It's like the natural part of it,
Right.
If you are just joining us, we are talking all things ice cream here on Seasoned. Give us a call. Give your favorite ice cream joint a shout out. Our number today is 203-776-9677. That number again is 203-776-9677. We are joined by Eliza Florian of Grassroots Ice Cream in Granby, and we are taking your calls. And we actually have Michelle Ledyard from, you want to shout out your place. Thanks for calling Seasoned, Michelle.
Thanks for doing this story because I'm just dying for ice cream right now.
You and me both. As long as it's not mint, I'll be happy.
I'm not a big mint fan either. I'm a coffee based. But we have this great farm up in Voluntown called Buttonwoods, and they do that creamy, fat ice cream, awesome. Farm-based ice cream, but they also do sunflower fields. So you go get your ice cream, and then you go out to the sunflowers, and they do an ice cream of sunflowers.
Oh, wow.
And it's delicious. It's so good. They sell out, like, instantly if you're not up there. And
wow.
It's in Voluntown, southeastern Connecticut. They're just known for the ice cream. It's so good up there.
All right, Michelle.
I have to agree with you there. And they do a lot of charity with those sunflowers. They fund a lot of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, to make kids' dreams come true. They do wonderful work there.
I love it. I actually have a list of some of our listeners. You shouted out your favorite local ice cream spot on our social media. Arethusa, which happens to be mine, is pretty delicious. They have New Haven, Bantam, and West Hartford. Rob's in Glastonbury. Peaches and Cream in Litchfield. You know what? Sometimes you can't go wrong with the Mr. Softy that drives around Amagansett and East Hampton.
Absolutely.
Doing God's work. I mean, I have to tell you that that was the anthem of my youth. Getting skinned knees, riding my bike until I was super sweaty, and then hearing the ice cream truck and running to the stoop to get some pocket change.
I love that you said the stoop, too. That makes me so happy that you said that. Hey, Lindsay Victoria actually shouted me out on Instagram and wanted us to know that one of the cool things about up there in Litchfield is that Arethusa was just voted best ice cream by Food and Wine in Connecticut, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Look at us. I'm telling you. And also the ice box in Brooklyn, Connecticut. And it says the fun fact, their hashtag is #NoScoopTill Brooklyn. Shout out to the Beastie Boys.
Nicely done.
I love it. I love it. We have another caller. You guys, Eliza, you still there? I am. Are you dreaming up some more ice cream flavors? Are we giving you inspiration?
Absolutely. I'm still thinking about those Puerto Rican flavors.
I am too. Lizzie from Manchester, thanks for calling Seasoned. Tell us about your ice cream situation.
Hi. So my current ice cream situation is frosty but delicious. I just wanted to call in and share one of my favorite ice cream flavors common in Peru and in South America is a lucuma ice cream, which is a super creamy fruit that is found in the rainforest. And it kind of has a flavor like butterscotch. And I was just hearing you guys talking, and that is kind of what I'm craving right now.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for that.
I want to point out that toffee coffee was my thing a minute ago. That's now out. This one's in. This is what I want now.
I like all the ice creams.
Yeah.
We have another caller actually.
Great.
Hello, thanks for calling Seasons. What can you tell us about your favorite ice cream?
Hi, I just wanted to say that last summer my favorite flavor was mint chocolate chips from Arethusa and Bantam.
Yay. See, very
it's
loyal.
So good. They do a really creamy mint ice cream, and I can't wait to try it this year.
Thanto you for calling.
Actually, I would love to see a mint flavor that was I would love to see Grassroots Ice Cream do a funky mint flavor, like mint bacon or mint something. I want to try.
Wow, you're adventurous.
Oh no! What's happening? What's happening right now? No, we can't let that happen. She must work for the Mint Council of Connecticut. Get her out of here. What's she talking about? Mint and bacon.
I make the mint classics: mint chocolate chip, mint Oreo, mint brownie. But wow.
Mint bacon, Marisol, that's going to be all you. You're going to have that one.
I told you, I will. If Eliza's making it, I will try it.
Yeah, I promise. So on April Fool's this year, we made 3 flavors. We made French's yellow mustard, we made soy sauce, and we made sriracha. And it was meant to be shocking and funny, but I don't do anything that isn't ice cream, like meant to be. You can eat the whole scoop. And so everyone, was scared to try it, but honestly, my favorite was soy sauce. There was something once I got that level right, it was sweet, salty. I loved it. Sriracha is a common flavor everyone knows, but who think, soy sauce would work? And it worked. It was good.
How do you how do you go about making a soy sauce ice cream? Is it different than, say, your purest vanilla? Do you have to do something
I used
different?
it like vanilla. I just had to get it to a level where it wasn't punch you in the face, but it was delicious. You can also put too much vanilla in ice cream and it wouldn't be that good. But yeah, there was a level of soy sauce that I found that I liked it. And people did buy it and did eat it. So
it's that sweet and salty thing, when I was in culinary school, I remember them explaining to us why there's so many ice cream places around a beach. Do you guys know?
No. Why?
Because the salty air, the salt that's naturally in the air all around the beach and around a boardwalk makes you crave something sweet. That's why ice cream shops do so well right next to a beach. Interesting, huh?
Very interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting. If you're just joining us, we are doing our live call-in show talking about ice cream. It is the harbinger of summer. Give us a call, 203-776-9677. The number again is 203-776-9677. We are joined by Eliza Florian of Grassroots Ice Cream in Granby. And I have to say, so many different flavors, so many different ingredients. Eliza, you've got surely these really vast machines to help you do this sort of thing. But what kind of tips can you give folks at home who want to make ice cream on their own? Because I've always threatened to do this with my children, but I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Well, there's some quick and dirty ways that Chef Plum and I were talking about before we got on air. But I think the most successful recipe probably that your home cook's going to come up with to a really nice ice cream is a custard, because you have to have that emulsifier like we were talking about. You have to have that lecithin, and that brings your protein and your cream and your fat and waters and all those things together in a really nice way. And home cooks usually can get a product that they like using egg yolks.
Yeah. That works pretty well too. And in a pinch, Eliza, and you're gonna yell at me, I know. And like I said, this is kind of like therapy for me making ice cream. You can use a teaspoon of mustard powder, or even a Dijon mustard in the vanilla ice cream will help hold the emulsification long enough for you.
Yeah, Dijon has the good amount of lecithin in it.
So one of the things I was talking to Eliza off air is that so many times I've had to make ice cream, really quick, doing it in a pinch, whether it's for, a quick dessert, or I have, some clients coming over that only like vanilla ice cream and I don't have it. One of the really quick and dirty ways that we were talking about is you can take a little sweetened condensed milk and heavy cream, throw a pinch of salt and literally a half a teaspoon of mustard and a little bit of sugar and mix it all up. And that makes a pretty decent ice cream base that you can flavor with, vanilla, or you can flavor it with any kind of fruit would be great in there too. I know, Eliza, I'm saying that and you're cringing in your boots as I'm saying it, but it does work.
It does work, I'm sure, but I don't know if it's good as a homemade shop.
Well, listen, we said quick and dirty, okay?
Exactly.
So I'm just getting it out
We
there.
have to clarify. And I don't use eggs in our base. That would be more the Southern style custard base. We use that classic New England. It's got no eggs in it.
Eliza is a purist. And with that, we need to take a quick break. But don't worry, there is so much more ice cream to talk about. Tell us what your favorite ice cream joint is, or your ice cream flavor. We want to know. Call us 203-776-9677. This is Seasoned. Welcome back to Seasons. I'm Marisol Castro with Chef Plum. We are talking all things ice cream, and it is our live call-in show. So give us a call. Shout out your favorite ice cream joint. The number is 203-776-9677, 203-776-9677. We also are joined by Eliza Florian of Grassroots Ice Cream in Granby. So we have Nathan from Stamford. Do you guys want to say hi?
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan from Stamford. Thanks for calling Seasoned.
Hey, how's it going? I just want to give a shout out for frozen custard because there's not enough frozen custard joints out there. My personal favorite is pumpkin cheesecake frozen custard from Wits in Granville, Ohio, just outside of North Ohio.
Well, look at that.
It is amazing.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Nathan. I like that he's speaking on behalf of frozen custard. I was just in Cape May last weekend, and frozen custard was all the rage. And I have to say, it was pretty delicious.
Eliza, can you tell us, break down the difference between frozen custard and just ice cream, the difference in the two, or is it not that different? One has more eggs than the other.
Frozen custard is an egg-based, French custard ice cream, and New England ice cream contains no eggs. It's a Philadelphia base.
Okay.
Okay.
Regional. I love the regionality of it. That's fantastic.
I love the regionality, and we actually have a caller with a question for you, Eliza. Rich from Windsor. Thanks for calling Seasoned. What's you?
Right.
I understand you have a suggestion for Eliza.
Okay.
Yeah, this winter, my. By the way, I love Grassroots. It's a great shop, delicious ice cream. And this winter, my family and I started drinking dandelion root tea. And it's bitter. And I thought this would make a great ice cream flavor. So that's my suggestion. I think the bitter and the sweet together would be awesome.
You know what? I have that on my to-do list because I never thought of using the greens, the dandelion greens, but I know that if you dry out a dandelion root and you roast it, it has a roasted coffee flavor, kind of almost like a chicory coffee thing. And they used to use it in the olden days as a substitution for coffee. So I would definitely experiment with that. I've experimented with a couple of Indian savory leaves that people said is a very popular ice cream flavor in India. Some of my customers are from India. It's like a beetle leaf. I didn't understand the flavor, but they said I got it. So it was very bitter. But
Rich, thanks so much for calling us. I'm going to petition that if she does make this, that she work your name into the flavoring in some way, shape, or form.
Good idea.
Well, you're right up in my neck in Windsor there.
Oh my gosh, I love, and I think dandelion root is also good for your belly, isn't it? I feel like I've done that. Okay, we have another call. Sean, how are you? Thanks for calling Seasoned.
Hi, Seasoned. This is Sean. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
I am a ice cream connoisseur, and I'm driving on 91 through Connecticut, and I can't believe I'm listening to an hour of ice cream.
We're here to serve the people.
I hear that. I hear you. And I stopped drinking years and years ago, and the way I did it was on ice cream. And half gallons of crappy ice cream. But having perfected my taste buds, Harold's in Northampton, Massachusetts, and I've had ice cream all around the world, has chocolate pudding ice cream to die for. And I bet the butterfat content is, I have no idea, but it tastes like it's 40%.
Wow.
It also,
that sounds amazing.
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. To be topped with hot fudge and chocolate with cream is, if you like chocolate, it's the way to go. But I'm going to suggest to them lime with strips of their fudge in it, because that sounds killer.
Thanks so much for
God.
calling, Sean. We appreciate it.
Chocolate pudding ice cream with hot fudge and more chocolate on top. Are you kidding me?
Ooh, honey,
this is what I'm in. Oh, I'm so in.
I love this. We have another call. Ken from Southington, thanks for calling Seasoned. Tell us about your ice cream dreams.
Yeah, hi. How are you?
We're great.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we sure can, loud and clear.
I started making ice cream when I was 16 years old at Harold's Ice Cream in Fairfield, and it was like the best experience I ever had as a job in my life. It was my favorite job. And then I'm 50 now, and I say the best ice cream where I live in Southington has got to be Pralines on West Center Street. And then I got to give a second shout out for Rich's Ice Cream in Oxford from Rich's Farms. They're both really, really good. Very rich and heavy, but they have light choices too.
I love it.
But my kids can eat a half a gallon of ice cream in 5 minutes.
I love it.
So we're big ice cream people. But that's it. Pralines and Rich's.
Thank you so much for calling, Ken. We appreciate it.
Great places.
Thank you.
There's so many places to try now. I'm making a list, and I'm on page 2. This is a mess.
Let's go to Brian in Stamford. Thanks for calling Seasoned. Tell us about your ice cream thoughts.
Well, we have an innovation agency in Norwalk, and so we're asked to come up with new stuff for different companies. So we've helped them name a bunch of ice creams, and one was Cookie Dough Dynamo for Haagen-Dazs, but which was really fun. The idea in the name is you want it to be a fun name. But the one I wanted to share was, beyond that, was naming one for Ben & Jerry's, and they had a strawberry and fudge ice cream. And so they asked us, we were helping them invent new novelties, so instead of bonbons, we could call them Ben-Bens, right? But
I love it.
Yeah, so naming this new strawberry and fudge ice cream, they said, well, we only have a half hour in this day-long ideation session. They're called up in Vermont. We did it. By the way, they gave us ice cream on all the breaks, and by the end of the day, I was shaking from all the sugar.
Stop it! Wait, Brian, I'm so curious. So your job is to come up with names for ice cream?
Well, no, that's part of our job. We're an innovation agency, so we help companies come up with new products, new growth strategies, creativity training, cost cutting. So we help companies come up with new ideas. And so these are just two of many, many stories we have about helping companies come up with new stuff. And in this case, it happened to be those ice cream assignments, which are fun when you can get them, right?
I was just going to say, you got paid to eat ice cream all day and then name it.
Exactly. So the Ben & Jerry's story, strawberry and fudge ice cream, it was a new flavor at the time. And the client, by the way, who was from Stanford, she was their mother of invention, which I thought was a great title. She said, well, we only have a half hour to name this new ice cream. I said, well, how long have you been working on it? And they said 3 months. And I said, well, how are we going to do it in a half hour? And she said, well, that's all we have, so you have to figure it out. So the way you do it, and your listeners, if they have to name something, but particularly ice cream, you use stimuli. So can you use pictures? Can you use cartoons? Can you use, funny videos, YouTube videos? But we said, well, what's the essence of Ben & Jerry's? And so we said the essence for them is they're anti-authoritarian, right? Mm-hmm. And so we said, what are anti-authoritarian triggers? And so we got slang dictionaries, cut those up, pass them out to all the people in the room, and the name we came up with was, anybody want to take a guess for new strawberry and fudge ice cream?
Oh, good heavens.
No,
Stick it to the man?
Robyn.
Stick it to the
What's
man.
that?
I have no idea.
it was snafu, which stood for strawberries naturally all fudged up, and that's the name they wanted it under.
Excellent. I am very intrigued by you, Brian. Thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank
Hey,
you guys.
Eliza, do you ever have any trouble naming your ice creams? Is it like you try to come up with like a really great name for it, and instead you stick with, chocolate mint?
I actually learned of my first year in business that it was best for me, because we have so many ever-changing flavors, that it just be the name that it is. So we have a few ice creams that have funny names, like we have Snapping Turtle, but whenever that's on our board, my employees are like, they get the question, what's in Snapping Turtle? So they have to have this memorized little thing, whereas they never ask, what's in the lime chocolate.
Right.
So
Snapping Turtle. I mean, I'll be honest, I'd ask the same thing. Snapping Turtle. It could go one way or another.
So it makes the line move a little faster if it doesn't have funny names.
I bet. Nancy from Portland, thanks so much for calling Seasoned. I understand you have an ice cream idea for us.
Yes, when I was in Southern Ireland in County Kerry some years ago, I had an almond cardamom ice cream, and it was just delicious. And I did hear you talking about the cardamom before, and that...
Yeah, we make a cardamom cashew. I haven't made cardamom almond, but we make cardamom cashew, or we make cardamom cashew date.
Oh, that sounds really good, too. And being that I'm of Scandinavian heritage, I love anything with cardamom, but that was just a super good ice cream that I wanted to tell you about.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. I'd love to give that a try. That's amazing. Eliza, what do you think about all these different like rolled ice creams and bubble ice creams? And it just seems like every week there's some new fad of ice cream coming out.
It's okay. The fads really, they come, and I don't think they're what New England grew up with. So, I mean, New England is very much about tradition. And yes, they're going to embrace and love something really wild with a fish-shaped cone or something interesting that someone invented. And I think that's great. But the nostalgia is really with that New England full-fat ice cream and that classic little cute ice cream shop in the center of people's towns. And people New Englanders, I find, are fiercely loyal to two things, and that's their favorite pizza place and their favorite ice cream shop. I mean, I'm just so amazed with how many calls are backing up on this hour, because people, they support their ice cream shops and they support their pizza shops. Mm-hmm. And it's with a passion. So it's almost like the Yankees and the Red Sox. But that's how we survived the pandemic. We had so many customers who love us, and they said, we don't want to see you go out. We come every week just to make sure you're okay.
Oh, that's fantastic. Something we haven't really gotten into is toppings for ice cream, which I'm all about. I'm all about the topping. I'm actually looking, Eliza, at your website. You have the usual suspects, hot fudge, whipped cream, but then you've got Samoa cookies, stroopwafel. What seems to be some of your favorites that your customers gravitate towards?
We try to have things that we don't use any artificial colors. So we don't have your M&Ms and your Skittles or gummy bears or things like that. Our toppings are not extensive because we try really hard to source through that narrow band. But our chocolate sprinkles, I'm telling you, they are real chocolate. They are not little BBs of wax. They are so good. And I mean, I pay a lot of money for our sprinkles because our rainbow sprinkles are like completely natural colors, no petroleum based colors or flavors. So I can't have these big extensive like topping bars. So people like you that, like to stack on the toppings, I have to say I'm really proud of the ice cream we make. And most people just want to taste the ice cream.
I believe
is there a difference between sprinkles and jimmies, or is it just like a regional word?
It's a regional thing, right? Yeah.
Regional.
Yeah.
Right.
I've always wondered that. I've said jimmies in front of my kids just to annoy them because they're like, they're sprinkles. Stop saying jimmies. I'm like, I don't know. That's what I've heard.
So, Eliza, if you were to recommend right now, if someone walked into your store, you would say you can't leave without having what?
Well, you can't live without trying something.
Well, for
I would-
example,
honestly,
you change it.
I
You
hold
change
up
it every day.
flavor, but
don't you change your thing? You have your specialty flavors. What would be
yeah,
a specialty flavor that?
on the board right now, because I'm at home, I don't even necessarily know what they flipped into the case. So to shout out one that is in the case right now, I can almost guarantee you that we have double Oreo. People are addicted to Oreos. We sell about 3 boxes of double Oreo to every box of other flavors.
Wow.
It really is something that is beloved in our nation. So, but that's one of the classics that I always have to have in there. People go crazy.
I love those. Those sound delicious. Last shout out for me, Orondo Creamery from our good brother chef Dan Cardos. That place is awesome. If you haven't tried that, you got to find his truck. He does amazing stuff too with the crazy toppings if you're into that.
Yes, he does. Well, this has been a wonderful hour talking about ice cream. Eliza Florian of Grassroots Ice Cream in Granby, Connecticut. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciated your time.
You're awesome.
All right. Take care.
Man, what a great time. I love talking ice cream. She sounds fantastic. I can't wait to go and try some of that ice cream, Marisol. How about you?
I can't wait either.
It's going to be absolutely phenomenal and delicious. Season is produced by Robyn Doyon-Aitken and Catie Talarski. Robyn worked the phones today, and Jean Abentruda worked the board. I'm Chef Plum.
And I'm Marisol Castro. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Pile those Sundays high. It'll be a really great weekend for some ice cream. We'll see you next week.